So, ladies and gentlemen, Red Devils from Trinidad to Germany, all the way to Old Trafford. Guys, shout out to each and every one of you watching. Right now, it's your boy Mark N. Of course, you know what it is. It's Red Devil mode each and every day. Let's go. Of course, today is the big one, the Super Sunday, where Manchester United is certainly set to take on the expected winners of the Premier League in none other than Liverpool, guys. What is going on? It's a big day and it's a new dawn. And of course, we're going to be here to go over and have a little bit of a reaction to Rúben Amorim's press conference. As you know, he had one on Friday. I wasn't able to show it live, but I'm going to bring it here to you now and we're going to react and talk about it. We're going to discuss what's happening. The game is live just about 5:30 CET, 4:30 UK time. Of course, we will be there. Join me live for the watch along, guys. It's going to be a fun time because we do expect, the season has taught us already that Liverpool has started well but are wobbling right now. 3 games losses on the bounce. On the bounce, and now at the cauldron at Liverpool, Man United go there, who have just won their last game. Can we win 2 back to back? It's an interesting one, you know what I mean? After 7 games, United have shown flashes, but not enough. Liverpool have broken run form, gives us hope that we can possibly do something interesting. After all, the rivalry isn't just about 3 points, it's about pride, it's about passion, it's about the fight for the true Reds of England. Of course, we are the Red Devils, the identity, the history, and the statement in itself. With Amorim in charge and buzzing with confidence from his press conference, I expect to see a big performance. Can we take 3 points? That's going to be the biggest question. Let's get in to Amorim's press conference, guys, and let's check it out. Let's see what is going on. What is all the hype about? What is Amorim saying? What is his thoughts? And let's find out what you guys are thinking, because that's the most important part of the show. So let's go, guys. Let's see what Amorim is saying.
Afternoon, Rúben. I know you always talk about how much in contact you are with the leadership here, the likes of Sir Jim, Jason. Sir Jim had some really positive comments for you over the break, really backing you. How do you feel when you see those type of comments?
He tell me all the time, sometimes with a message after games. But I know, and Jim knows that football is not like that. So the most important thing is the next game. You cannot control, even with owners, you cannot control the next day in football. So I know that, but it's really good to hear that. Also because of the noise, but he tells me, and Omar and Jason tell me that all the time.
In terms of your vision for this club, does it help when they say that? Because they've also said, or Omar said, that it didn't start the way that everybody expected, including you. And nobody knows how long it's going to take. Nobody knows what happens on Sunday. Does it help that you know that they believe in what you are trying to do?
First of all, I can feel it. It's not just that thing that people talk, but I feel it in every day. And again, sometimes the pressure put on the team, on myself, is so much bigger than them. I know that it's going to take a while, but I don't want to think like that. I said that last year. But of course, again, it's really good to hear that. I think it helps also our fans to understand that
100%.
the leadership understands that it's going to take a while. But at the same moment, I don't like that, because we'll give a feeling that we have time to work things out. So I don't want that feeling here in our club. Again, the most important thing is the next game. It's good to feel the support, but we need to prove in football, and especially in big clubs, that in every weekend we are ready to win games.
Hi, Rúben. This will be the 100th match at Anfield between Liverpool and Manchester United. It's a game with an awful lot of history. Your history, I think your first visit there as a player maybe could have been better, but your most recent was possibly one of your highlights here so far.
Yeah, it was. I remember it was. We play well. Was a draw. I was really upset in the end of the game because we proved in that day that we can compete against any opponent. I know that is special. Our club, I know that they are fighting all the time for the title, the number of titles. I know what it means to the fans. But again, it's one game that we need to prove again that we are playing better. I think we are playing better. We need to do better in both boxes. So it's one more game that we need to win.
Okay.
Interesting reports from the manager.
Against the so-called bigger teams have been quite good since you got here. What do you think the difference has been in those games compared to perhaps some of the other games?
Maybe I don't know, but maybe the expectations when you have to win and the responsibility of winning, it's so much harder to play like that. That's why when you play in big clubs, you need to win every match, especially when people are expecting you to win. And we have some difficulties sometimes to deal with that when people and you guys expect not Manchester United to win that game. Maybe it's easier for the players to perform, and we need to change that. But to change that, we need to have confidence to win more games, to have more points, to feel more free to play the game. So I think that is the main reason.
100%. I kind of agree with that statement you made there.
Who didn't train us, say some of them were rested, had additional days off. But which players do you know won't be available for the weekend's game?
Licha is near, but it's almost returning to the trainings with the team. Mazraoui, I don't know. The rest of the guys, the national team, they are ready. But if you saw the games, some players play in Japan, so we need to be careful to give more time. Diogo didn't play the last game he was here. Bruno played 62 minutes. We gave one more day. We try to balance everything to have everyone ready, but they are ready. The guys are returning from national teams. They are ready to play.
Pete and then Paul.
Hi, Rúben. When your goalkeeper puts in a performance like that on debut, the United fans are calling him the new Peter Schmeichel after less than 90 minutes. Does that make him impossible to drop even for a big game like this?
No, possible. Nothing is impossible.
Who
you
knows?
have to prove during the week, but of course he did a great job. It is possible that he is going to start the game. The first impression in this club is really
very
important.
solid.
To maintain the level is even more important and really difficult. So he's not Schmeichel yet. He's a young guy with talent. He shows a lot of composure, and the fans liked it. But again, we need to prove that is in the past. We need to prove in the next game.
Rúben, Sir Jim was quite critical of the academy in his interview last week. He said that standards had slipped. You've been here nearly a year now. What's your assessment of the health of the United Academy?
I think we can always improve. I'm not the best.
I think this statement, guys, we will refer to because our academy in the last 2 seasons has won a treble. They have won they have won the most titles in the different divisions in the last 18 months than in the last 10 years. Yeah, guys, I just want to put that to you guys. So Sir Jim talking about the academy standards has slipped is a lie. I just putting that out there, guys. That's a big lie and something I think Rúben Amorim should not be supporting because we won our academy treble. This is the first time it's been done, and we did that in 23-24. Yeah, in 22-23, we was also having various academy teams win their divisions and win league cups domestically in the youth setup. So I don't know where they're getting this thing from, but yeah, it's wild. Because not to mention last season we were slapping teams 10, 40-0, 11-9. Liverpool was beaten 9-2 last season. Man City 11-1. It's wild that they are making the statement. But let's continue with the press conference, guys. Sorry for my interruption.
Guy, because I'm here for a year and our results are not being so good, so I'm not going to be the guy that is going to say that the academy is not in a good shape. What I know is that, especially nowadays with the fair play, with the feeling of the club, the academy is really important. We need to take care of that. We need also to give the right conditions for all the people that we have here to do a better job, because sometimes it's not just you are doing a bad job, but we need to see what kind of conditions they have to do a great job. We are paying attention to that. We are bringing people. We are always in contact with Travis, with all the kids, trying to bring the right kids for the trainings, try to make that relationship with the academy. I think if you look at our club, we are trying to improve. We have a lot to improve, not just in the academy, but in all aspects of our club.
100%.
Hi, Rúben. You talked earlier about how Liverpool and United are competing for the same number of titles, and the two clubs are always going to be compared with each other. I mean, when you sort of have a season like last season, when Liverpool finish so far ahead of United, I mean, how do you address that, and what becomes a realistic aim in terms of closing the gap to them?
That I don't know. Sometimes things change really fast, but if you see the history of both clubs, you can feel it that sometimes you have one club that is winning, the other club is having a bad moment. That happened with Liverpool when Manchester United was winning everything, and that happened with Manchester United when Liverpool was winning everything. So we just have to acknowledge that, to be really honest with the fans.
Exactly.
But we can win any game. So if we think about just winning the next game, that is the most important thing. We can win the next game.
I don't think the reporter was prepared for that.
If we are going to fight and to be at the same level of Liverpool in the future, that is the idea. I don't know how long it is going to take.
Okay, guys, interestingly enough, right, I would like to point out to each and every one of you that it's interesting what Rúben Amorim had to say, and I think there's a lot of key information that we need to dissect. I don't know if you guys, if you guys were listening, everything, but I did stop it in between to give my 2 cents about some statements that was made by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who I think is, trying to cover his tracks, in my honest opinion. He's not giving the best opinions and honest answers. They are lying about the Youth Academy, and it's wild. It's crazy that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who came to the Youth Academy and met a Youth Academy that was winning trebles and winning trophies and dominating the various divisions, is today saying that our Academy standards has dropped. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And certainly, I would put it to everyone that, not because it is said by the owner of the club means it's true in some perspectives or in some reality. But what I would say to you guys is that, we need to always pay attention to what's being said. You know what I mean? And how they are acting upon it. Because when we look at their talents, like Alvaro Fernandez being signed to Real Madrid, is now a starter at Real Madrid. He came from our academy. Many of our talents are starters in big teams. Guys, Mason Greenwood scored 4 goals yesterday. What are we doing? The academy has been cooking. It's sizzling. You know what I'm saying? It's been cooking for years. You know what I mean? Our academy is the strongest it had been in the last 10 years, in the last 3.5. It's never been stronger. So it's a weird one, but let's continue the manager's press conference. Of course, we need to find out more, and then we'll go into some questions and some key points on what are your takeaways. I have a poll in the chat, guys. Let me know what you think. The poll will be running for another 5 until the end of the press conference, because there's more questions to come and more polls as well. Let's see what's happening. Let's see. Let's see what Ruben has to say in the final bit of the two-part press conference.
Basically won once in the last decade at Anfield as a Wayne Rooney goal, and before that was when Mata scored twice. And the fans still talk about these wins for the obvious reasons. So can you use that? Might you say that to your players? You've got a chance here to sort of really please our fans and break this sequence or at least improve it.
I have so many things to use with our players, like winning back-to-back games, to have that momentum that can change completely. And I felt like the game against Chelsea when we won the week was so different. So we have a lot of things to use with the players. I think they don't remember that games. The football players nowadays, they don't watch many games. Unfortunately,
Wild
so we have so much to use that is not the hardest part. We have so much to win if we win the next game, that I don't need to use that games in the past. We just need to try to show them what that could bring for our future.
Anfield, obviously, in English we say can be a bit of a bear pit. The atmosphere there's quite, let's say, involved. Again, you're confident your players can sort of thrive and use that.
Yeah,
positive energy.
We showed last year, and I think the way we start the game is more important than the environment. The environment can change. Of course, they will win a corner, an opportunity. The environment is going to be loud, but we are ready to play with that. And if you look last year, not this year, but last year, sometimes we play better in that kind of environment than the pressure at home. So we never know what is going to happen. It's really important to start the game well, to do a really good warm-up, to have a feeling, to understand that it's going to be tough in the first moments. So I know they are ready, but we need to prepare for the impact, especially for the beginning of the game.
Laurie and then Chris.
100%.
Just on what you said there, do you really think players don't watch as many games now as they used to?
No, I think that is normal. Everything now is different with a lot of distractions. I think they don't watch a lot of games. You have guys from like Bruno. Bruno is watching his plays, the teammates, any play. He watch every game that is on TV. But then you have some guys that play really well. If they want to do something different, that's okay.
And just on Senna, he was quite
interesting,
I think, against Sunderland for the kind of more direct approach to kind of make sure that there's no pressure on the back line. Is that an approach you can use at Anfield, particularly with?
I think if you look at nowadays, every time the ball goes to the goalkeeper, most of the teams play man-to-man. And sometimes you don't have anyone to play, and you try to use the first ball with the second ball and try to win when you have players with a lot of power in front. And now we have it. If we win one second ball, we can take all that build-up from the game and to have the opportunity to score. I think everyone is doing that. Senna has one ability that is really good. He can play both feet, and that is really, it's harder for the opponents to try to make the pressure from one side or the other. They know that he can kick the ball with both feet, and that I think that is really important. But it also needs to be ready, that people are seeing the games, understanding that it takes a little bit time to choose, and he needs to be ready for Premier League. So it's something that you use. If he's man-to-man in front, you are not building up. You can put the ball in 1-against-1 in front, and that is the play.
Interesting from the
Bruno's
manager.
Missed 2 of his 3 penalties this season against Brentford and Fulham. Is that something that you talked to him about? Is there any sense at all that you might change your taker, that if you get a penalty at Anfield on Sunday, that someone else might go and take it?
No, if you try to I know that is not easy for him, but I think he has 70 penalties, I think, and he misses like 9, 2 with me, so I'm really annoyed with that, but he's really confident. He's training the penalties. He's trying to understand that people are watching the way he scores the penalties. So he will be ready. We have more guys also to score a penalty if he needs.
I mean, have you had cause to talk to him about this? And as you mentioned, that you've signed 3 forwards during the summer. I know Brian missed one against Grimsby, but you have other options there now. Is he still your man to go and take it?
Yes, it's the main taker. he scores a lot of goals. Penalty is passing this moment. We have another options. If again, if we need,
100%
we can change. But I'm full confident that Bruno will sort that out.
Okay, that's 2 questions for Rich and then Catherine.
Yeah. Rúben,
Hey.
since you arrived, United haven't won any of their games directly after an international break. Is that just a coincidence, or do these breaks sort of disrupt the rhythm of the team? Particularly, the Sunderland win does feel quite a while ago now.
Yeah, but if you don't need to look a lot to understand that there's a lot of things. We cannot win back to back. We cannot win. So if you look to all these things, we'll find out a million things. So I'm not trying to think like that. The last game against City was against City when we had the national team's break, and we understood that was the lack of aggressivity. That is my main concern, trying to understand why we are not winning that kind of games. So we need to be more aggressive in this game to be ready for the game. So I'm not thinking like we didn't win since I'm here after international
Sounds like
break.
excuses to
we
me.
can win
I
any
just
game.
have to say that, guys.
Sometimes
I have
from
to
the
be
opponent,
honest.
but also from us.
Also asked
Excuses.
As well, in the international break, Cobby and Josh Xerxes have both been linked with possible moves in January. Do you understand how difficult it is maybe to please players in terms of their minutes when there's a World Cup next summer and you've only got one competition you're in?
That is normal, and I also know that in our club everything is a lot of noise, and you have to have news, and players are not playing. They want to play. Like you said, there's a World Cup. There is agents that listen the players talking all the time. So I understand that, but they are our players, and we need everyone to have a good season.
I think that's on you, bro.
Marcus Rashford said during the week that he's been suffering before in an inconsistent environment. We're just wondering, what did you make of those comments? Because Keane and Rooney have said this week that he perhaps contributed to that. So has the environment changed, do you think?
Guys, I'm just focused on the future of the club, on the present of the club. That is the most important thing.
More excuses.
So I'm focused on my players and what they say, what they do. That is my main focus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So that was Amorim's press conference. So let's get into it, guys. Why don't we? I think it's going to get interesting here. I think these are things we need to be looking at. Of course, Rúben Amorim, by no means I would blame him for all the issues that we were having, but we could discuss. Let's get into the key parts of his press conference, guys. And I would bring this to you guys here and put it to you in the chat. If these were one of the 5 key parts that I think came out of the press conference, so I highlighted them. If there are more, we can discuss it. You know what I mean? Amorim says that despite the public backing from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, United must prove it on the pitch game by game, not rely on words. And it's funny that Amorim would say that, in my honest opinion, because he's the same coach that says he does not know what he will get in very next game. He has no explanation for what he gets week to week. He doesn't know what he could expect. And I think this is something that needs to change because it's a bit confusing having a manager who doesn't even know what kind of performance to expect from his players week to week. I think that's mind-boggling. But at the same time, guys, that's just my opinion. Of course, I don't know what your guys' thoughts on these things are. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. I already hear Box saying that Rashford and Garnacho chat too damn much. Big up to Box in the building. I also see Boxes saying that, our record on Liverpool has not been great in the modern times. We haven't won back-to-back in the league game since August 2024. And yeah, that's interestingly enough. We have to change, says Box. You know what I mean? And I think we have a chance as well. The Box is saying there. So it's interesting that guys still believe that Man United will find a way to deliver. Now, it's an interesting situation that we find ourselves in because, the manager also highlighting that we need aggressiveness and direct play. And I would say to everyone that We have been playing so directly that this is why we don't score multiple goals. And we've seen when we played creatively, we've scored multiple goals and won games. So I don't know. I agree with the aggressiveness part because at the same time we need to get to the winning second balls. We need to exploit our physical strength. And of course, at Anfield, using long balls and long throw-ins is going to be important. So it's one of those things we have to deal with. But I certainly disagree with the direct play part because the direct play part has shown us in the first 5 games we are unable to score goals. Simply unable to do so. Playing too directly. The teams can read us a mile away. And this has certainly caused part of our problems in our inability to score goals. Definitely, Box. I will be highlighting that comment to bring it up. We are going to discuss the team news, of course. That's going to be very interesting. It sounds wild, that team that I'm looking at right now. It doesn't have any Benjamin Sesko in the starting lineup today, apparently, according to that team news from Box. I'll just put it up on the screen as a highlight so you guys can get an idea of what Box is saying and think about all the things that you're thinking about because I see Maguire, Luke Shaw, no Casemiro. Huh? Huh? Box. I could see that we're gonna lose today, guys. I already see that we're probably gonna lose today. It's gonna be a difficult game. We're not gonna score any goals. Matthias Cunha has a powder puff shot. It's like Teletubbies playing catch, if you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But let me just finish dissect this press conference really quickly, Box, because yeah, you just changed the energy of my stream, broski. Mad. That is mad, bro. That is wild. That is wild. Key role of Sen Lamens. The manager has flagged the new keeper Lamens' ability to use both feet and both feet as a strategic asset to start quick attacks and reduce the pressing effect. He has also said that the keeper has a lot of talent and a lot of ability, and while he is not yet the new Peter Schmeichel, he still said not yet, yeah. So he believes that he can get up to that level, certainly. Of course, I think the new keeper has always shown great potential, even at his former club. We spoke about him at length this summer, guys. Everyone knows how amazing that we believed his talent was, and that he was always going to be signed on deadline day. So anyone else saying anything different, of course, guys, we know they were just trying to get clicks. But let's get in. The rivalry acknowledgement. I think it's more than an acknowledgement. It's more of the way of life and football for Manchester United versus Liverpool. Amorim recognized again the magnitude of the fixture, the 100th match between the clubs at Anfield, and said United must treat every game like this, but especially this one. But then he goes and starts Matthias Cunha, who has shown every time he starts for Manchester United, we are certainly unable of score have lacked every ability to score goals in a game. So maybe he's setting up to lose the game from the very beginning. This is just my honest opinion, guys. If you don't agree, please let me know in the chat. And now, finally, the mention of squad injuries. Martinez is said to be near, but he's not ready yet. Mazraoui is doubtful. Players returning from international duty need to be balanced for freshness. That's his excuse for why we are going to lose, guys. I just want to put it out there to you. So, question for the chat. Which change from the United presser do you believe matters most? Long-term ball tactics, Lamens in goal, or new attitude? Let me know in the comments, guys, because certainly I think it's really, really interesting what this guy is doing here today. Box says he thinks that Amorim gambled here. Hope it works out. I mean, Luan, the facts are in the statistics. Every game that Matthias Cunha has played for Man United as a starter, we have been unable to score goals in each and every one of those games. And until he came off the pitch in the third or fourth game was the only reason we won against Burnley, because he was replaced. So it's one of those things where I have faith. But again, I would say to this, if we keep doing the same things and expecting different results, That's a borderline insanity. And this manager has been doing this thing, and I think it's Casemiro in for Ugarte. So okay, cool. You know what I mean? The bench is buying their Dorgu, Mazraoui, Heaven, Euro, Ugarte, Menu, Sesko, Xerxes. What does Xerxes have to do to get a game? I mean, he came into a game and contributed to 2 goals being scored, and since then he's been unable to get more than 9 minutes in the team. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Box says Lamens could be key. Hopefully sets the tone and foundation from the back. I would say, guys, I totally agree. But I will also say, guys, be at the back hasn't really been our biggest issue. Our biggest issue has been scoring goals. And another thing to mention is that the manager changed a winning team again. Again, there's no Mason Mount in this team. You know what I'm saying? Mason Mount came into our team and we won against Burnley. He scored the opening goal. And you bring Sesko scored his second goal in 2 games, and you take him out of the team to start Matthias Cunha, who has been unable to score or contribute any sort of tangible, positive assets to Man United this season. I don't know, guys. You cannot be mad at me for thinking that this guy is sabotaging himself. You cannot be mad at me thinking that this guy is sabotaging Man United each and every time. We looked at the press conference. He was asked, why is it that Man United seems to be unable to win a game after coming back from the international break, which has never been an issue before Rúben Amorim came to the club. Ten Hag won after international breaks multiple times. Yeah, it has not been an issue before Rúben Amorim. And clearly the issue is he's always changing the players. He's changing the winning team each and every time. He can't stop tinkering. For some strange reason, I think he thinks he always needs to experiment. Of course, I would have started Euro. Like, who starts Maguire against Isak, possibly Etekite, and 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 ha- and and Mo Salah? The guy is nowhere near pace for that. He is nowhere near the pace for that. You have Dalit, you have Euro, you starting Luke Shaw is already borderline iffy, guys. If it was up to me, I'd be starting Eden Haven. When we drew against Liverpool, Eden Haven started last season at Anfield. This guy's going backwards. And I want to be positive, guys, but oh my goodness, guys, my goodness. Anyway, let's get to the starting 11, guys. Let's get back to the starting 11 box. This guy's moving mad, bro. This guy is moving mad. So, in other news, the starting 11 goes something like this. It's set to be Lamens starting in goal, Delit, Maguire, Shaw, Ahmad, Casemiro has been updated to the starting lineup. Fernandez, Delo, and Mount, Cunha, and Mbumo are the starting trio up front. Also, Mason Mount does start. Mason Mount does start. Wow. Interesting. Wow. Don't get the number 11 men. I don't know, bro. I don't get that starting 11, bro. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would bench your striker who's hitting form to start a player coming back from injury who hasn't been able to score goals and he's played more minutes than the striker. Like, he's played twice as many minutes as the striker. It's unheard of, guys. You know what I mean? Keep changing team. The team could be just fixing things. I don't know, guys. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot to be said. I don't know. It doesn't really sound positive for me to say it like that. Like, I hope for United to win. I was very excited. I hadn't watched the press conference before, you guys. You know what I'm saying? And watching it here with you, I was like excited to an extent because I was expecting him to have some continuity from the last game. I was expecting him to probably just start the same 11 from the last game because that 11 proved that they could play good football and they could win, you know. But I don't get starting Matthias Cunha. He has not contributed anything in Man United since coming here towards a goal. Not one time. Not in any game he's played. So when you take a player who's hitting form, scoring in back-to-back games, to start Matthias Cunha, and we need to win. We want to win. It's kind of clear you're not really setting a system of based on merit at this club because a guy scores 2 goals in back-to-back games, has 2 good performances, and he's on the bench for a guy who does nothing, who has done nothing, and is coming back from injury. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. When with the news that that also Joshua Zirkzee wants to leave, I think that's Amorim's fault because the guy is playing. He's played well, contributed for your team to a win, and then you never give him game time, but 9 minutes. Then also, you know, everyone has been saying that he's contributing to the inconsistency and the instability of the team, and he can't even answer. He can't even answer. But he's saying that there could be reasons you could find it there, here, there. But the fact remains that all of these things became a reality since he's become the manager of Manchester United. Most of these problems that we are having is since he became the manager. And I cannot say that honestly that what he is saying is right. He and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are trying to purport a rumor that the academy is failing when our academy is the most successful academy in England in the last 3 seasons. We've won the most trophies throughout divisions in the last 3 seasons of any academy in England. So how could the academy be failing? And this was happening before Sir Jim Ratcliffe became part owner. It's continued since he's been owner. So, these reports are a bit difficult to swallow for me, guys. I'm not very much in the Amorim super support group at this point. I am certainly in the Amorim doubt group. Yeah, and I'm being honest with everyone that I'm a really positive guy, but this manager has not given me anything to be positive about. He's certainly taken away from the traditions of our football club, and then he's blaming things on the fact that, us fans know less than he does about our own football club's history because he's bringing inconsistency into the team with the way he changes the team each and every week. I mean to say, guys, Cunha has not had a better performance over the international break than Benjamin Sesko, not by a long shot. In fact, of our players in the internationals, he's probably had the worst impact for his national team in comparison. But then he starts. So it is what it is. The watch along will be here. Of course, we'll be going live shortly for that watch along. The game is not too far away. So if you guys want, you can certainly you can go to the stream and smash a like when you have the time. But let's get into this. Let's talk about the starting lineup for Liverpool as well. And it looks very interesting. Of course, you all know that, you know, their goalkeeper is injured. So there's no Alisson. Mamadashvili starts. Bradley, Van Dijk, Konate, Kirkes round up the defensive back four. Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, McAllister, Salah, Isak, and Gakpo are the starting attack. And you're starting Salah, Isak, and Gakpo against Shaw, Maguire, and De Ligt. Guys, do you believe in miracles? Because you're certainly going to need one. We're certainly going to need a miracle, guys. I'm telling you. This is becoming really difficult, guys. We're certainly going to need a miracle. So, guys, the most important question of the day. It's coming. Of course. You know what I mean? So, in the chat, guys, let us know of the most important questions of the day. You know, you guys were doing it in the poll, which I am about to end right now. Let's check that poll out. And as you can see, currently in that poll, the most important player was selected as Bruno. Yeah. So that's interesting. Close runner-up was Mbumo, and then, of course, was Benjamin Sesko. It's going to be interesting. Let's see how it goes. But guys, what do you think about this match right now? Certainly, I am going to say to you all, I expect a performance. We've gone there, and in the last 2 seasons, we've came away with a point each time. Is it going to be the same today? Is Manchester United going to change the narrative? Are we going to be able to overcome the history of being unable to win at Anfield? Is it going to change today? Can it? We're certainly going to need a big impact from these players today. Certainly, Matthias Cunha being in the starting lineup, we are going to have to expect a top performance from the 26-year-old, 27-year-old to be fair. You know, he's not a young guy anymore. He's supposed to be the finished article. He's supposed to be Premier League proven. He should be hitting the ground running. It's not a different league. It's the same pitches he played on last season. And unfortunately, his form has not been anywhere near the form that he has been in last season, which is going to be difficult. On the bench, just to bring this into the equation, just really quickly, I forgot to mention the bench. Thank you, Box. Woodman, Frimpong, Robertson, Gomez, Jones, Florian Wirtz, Chiesa, Numgoa, and Etekite. Interesting. The 150 million euro signing is on the bench. Can you imagine, guys? Can you imagine? It will be interesting to see what happens there. Of course, hopefully Box. It's gonna be wild. It's certainly gonna be wild, Box. We might need Lamens to keep the score down and keep us in the game. Bro, Jack, it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking 100%, guys. It's looking a bit difficult, yeah. It's looking a bit difficult. Oh, Lamens, shock second place. 33% thinks Lamens is gonna be the difference maker. And just edging him by 1% was Bruno. Top. Interesting thoughts there by the faithful in the chat. And I would have to say that I don't disagree with you. Those players are certainly gonna need to be big today. Because if that's the starting lineup, there's going to be a lot of shots taken and not so many passes being made in the attacking third. Of course, it's going to be long to hope that we're going to see a lot of goals today. I was more excited for the last game. Baba Flossie says the same defense he selected failed against Brentford. I mean, what can I say? Yeah, I'm not the manager. I'm just a fan. I'm just one of you guys who loves this club and supports this club and hopes that someday we will return to the majestic status that we had and not just be only the biggest club in England by name, but also by performances. So, you know what I mean? We'll see how it goes, guys. It's going to be a tough game ahead of us, but certainly I do expect Manchester United to find a way to get themselves 3 points in this game. Of course, we do have some injuries, we do have some situations, but at the same time, we definitely are this biggest team in England, and we have to show that today. We have to go there away and get the job done. I expect to see top performance from Mbumo, from Cunha, from Mason Mount. Whether I rate you or I don't rate you, you play for Manchester United, brother. You need to go out there and explain You know what I mean? You need to leave it all out on the pitch. It's not about me. It's not about the fans. It's not about people in your inboxes. It's not about what people saying about you online. It's about what you do on the pitch. So today, guys, and the Reds, go out there, leave it all out on the pitch, give your best account of yourselves, and bring home 3 points. Yeah. As the Reds go marching on, we'll be back for the watch along really shortly. Join me then. And until then, your boy Marken. Have a great one, guys. Peace out. Oh, what's this last comment here? MU is the biggest in the world. Well, you know what I mean, bro. You know what I mean. Got to go cooking Reds. Got to take to Monaco. Go. Got a little pigtail trek. Oh, I can't talk to Luan no more, but Luan, you can't be doing these things such when you live on stream, you. You know, it's not righteous. Yeah, this is not righteous. It's not fair. Shout out to Labo in the building, guys. I'll catch you all later. Of course, you know what it is. Smash the likes and subscribe, and don't forget Red Devil.